Miss Stewart here. This is the second part of The Golden Brothers by the Grimm brothers. So they rode forth and came to an inn in which were many people, and when they perceived the golden children, they began to laugh and jeer. When one of them heard the mocking, he felt ashamed and would not go out into the world, but he turned back and went home again to his father. But the other rode forward and reached a great forest. As he was about to enter it, the people said, "It is not safe for you to go to ride through. The wood is all full of robbers who would treat you badly. You will fare ill, and then they see that you are all of gold, and your horse likewise, they will assuredly kill you." But he would not allow himself to be frightened, and said, "I must and will ride through it." Then he took bear skins and covered himself and his horses with them, so that the gold was no more to be seen, and rode fearlessly into the forest. When he had ridden onwards a little, he heard a rustling in the bushes and heard voices speaking together. From one side came cries of, "There is one," but from the other, "Let him go, 'tis a bearskin, as poor and bare as a church mouse. What should we gain from him?" So the gold child rode joyfully through the forest, and no evil befell him. One day he entered a village wherein he saw a maiden who was so beautiful that he did not believe that any more beautiful than she might exist in the world. And as such a mighty love took possession of him, he went up to her and said, "I love you with my whole heart. Will you be my wife?" He too pleased the maiden so much that she agreed and said, "Yes, I will be your wife, be true to you my whole life long." Then they were married, and just as they were in the greatest happiness, home came the father of the bride. And when he saw that his daughter's wedding was to be celebrated, he was astonished and said, "Where is the bridegroom?" They showed him the gold child, who, however, still wore his bearskins. Then the father said wrathfully, "A bearskin shall never marry have my daughter," and was about to kill him. Then the bride begged as hard as she could and said, "He is my husband, and I love him with all my heart," until at last he allowed himself to be appeased. Nevertheless, the idea never left his thoughts, so that the next morning he rose early, wishing to see whether his daughter's husband was a common ragged beggar. But when he peered in, he saw a magnificent golden man in the bed, and a cast-off bearskins lying on the ground. Then he went back and thought, "What a good thing it was that I restrained my anger. I would have committed a great crime." But the gold child dreamed that he rode out to hunt a splendid stag, and when he awoke in the morning, he said to his wife, "I must go out hunting." She was uneasy and begged him to stay, and said, "You might easily meet with a great misfortune," but he answered, "I will and must go." Thereupon he got up and rode forth into the forest, and it was not long before a fine stag crossed his path exactly according to his dream. He aimed and was about to shoot it when the stag ran away. He gave chase over hedges and ditches for the whole day without feeling tired, but in the evening the stag vanished from his sight, and when the golden child looked around him, he was standing before a little house wherein sat a witch. He knocked, and a little old woman came out and asked, "What are you doing so late in the midst of the great forest?" "Have you not seen a stag?" "Yes," answered she, "I know the stag well." And whereupon a little dog, which had come out of the house with her, barked at the man violently. "Will you be silent, you odious toad," said he, "or I will shoot you dead." Then the witch cried out in passion, "What, will you slay my little dog?" and immediately transformed him so that he lay like a stone, and his bride awaited him in vain, and thought that which I so greatly dreaded, which lay so heavily upon my heart, has come upon him. But at home the other brother was standing by the gold lilies, when one of them suddenly drooped. "Good heavens," said he, "my brother has met with some great misfortune. I must away to see if I can possibly rescue him." Then the father said, "Stay here. If I lose you also, what shall I do?" But he answered, "I must and will go forth." Then he mounted his golden horse and rode forth and entered the great forest, where his brother lay turned to stone. The old witch came out of the house and called him, wishing to entrap him also. But he did not go near her, and said, I will shoot you if you will not bring my brother to life again. She touched the stone, though very unwilling, with her forefinger, and he immediately restored to his human shape. And the two girl children rejoiced when they saw each other again, and rode away together out of the forest, and one home to his bride and the other to his father. The father said, I knew well you had rescued your brother, for the golden lily suddenly rose up and blossomed out again. Then they lived happily, and they prospered until their death. And that is the end of the second part of the Golden Brothers by the Brothers Grimm. Your task today, again, is to write a script based on this part of the story. Look at the checklist to help you. Good luck. I'm looking forward to reading your scripts later. Take care. Bye.